What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video party. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because of this video. We're going to be taking a look at what I think is one of Quentin Tarantino's best films, and I'll go as far as to say that this is probably one of my top 20 favorite films of all time, and it's this little film called Inglorious Basterds. Before we go any further, if there's anybody watching this video that is under the age of 18, you may want to skip this video. Okay, good. All right, let's get started with the video. So the movie came out in 2009 and is actually set in a fictionalized World War II setting where a group of Jewish American soldiers are sent to kill Adolf Hitler, and these guys are known only as the Bastards. But before we go any further, we have to talk about what I think is one of the greatest scenes in all of film history, and is the perfect way to introduce your villain, and it's actually right at the beginning of the film. In the beginning of our story, we open up on a small farm in France where the movie clearly states that the country is being currently occupied by Nazi Germany. As we focus in on the farm, we soon see the farmer alert his family that several Nazis are coming over to inspect their home. And this is where we're introduced to our main villain, Colonel Hans Landa, played by the incredible Christoph Waltz, who won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in this film. Anyway, the scene goes on with Landa explaining to the farmer that he was once a detective working for the police, but when the war broke out, he decided to use his special skills in order to find Jewish people, which gave him the nickname the Jew Hunter. Now, the movie could have had the main villain be this intimidating, overbearing soldier who terrorizes victims by using brute force and violence. As we watch this conversation play out, we begin to see how Landa really does enjoy doing what he does. And what makes him a scary villain is how polite he acts. And as we get to the end of the scene, we soon see Landa switch gears as he informs the farmer that there are Jews hiding in this house as they speak. What's crazy about this scene is that neither of these men have left the kitchen, and Landa already knows that these people are hiding Jews within the house, and he offers the farmer a very easy choice. If he gives up the Jews, the Nazis will not sexually harass his daughters. And in that moment, you see the pain in this man's eyes as he is put in an unbelievable situation where he has to choose between one life or the other. Honestly, any man would choose their family over their friends, but it's that sense of fear and dread that makes it more painful as you watch this man tell Landa where he's hiding these people. And in that moment, Tarantino turns up the knob on the violence as you watch these Nazis slaughter this whole family right in front of the farmer's eyes, while operatic music plays in the background. That is until one survivor manages to escape. More on that later. As we move throughout the movie, most of it is centered around Brad Pitt's character, Lieutenant Aldo Rang, who is the ringleader of the Bastards. Now, what makes these soldiers different is that these guys work outside the rules of war, where their business is to kill Nazis and scalp them. And business is a booming. However, there is an alternative option to escape this brutal fate, as Aldo Rang permanently gives a mark on these men to remind everyone that these guys were once Nazis. And in the most brutal way, he carves a Nazi symbol on their forehead. Holy crap, as if this film wasn't violent enough. But anyway, as we move further on, we soon find out that Hitler and his most trusted men are going to be attending a film premiere at a local theater in France, which provides the perfect opportunity to cut the head off the snake. And this assignment falls onto the Bastards, where they must infiltrate the premiere and kill everyone in that theater, starting with Hitler. To add more fuel to the flame, the theater is owned by Shoshana, who is the lone survivor of the massacre that took place at the beginning of the film. As it turns out, her theater was chosen to be the best place to hold this premiere, and when she finds out that she's hosting Nazi night, she comes up with a plan of her own. However, she's got to be careful, as it is revealed that Hans Landa will be acting as head of security for this night. And seeing the reunion between these two characters is amazing, as we watch Landa question this young girl who's taken another name to hide her identity. Watching Landa go to work, one could say that he has this cat-like nature where he just loves to play with his food. And as we watch him end the conversation and leave, Shoshana's world begins to crumble as she came face to face with the man who slaughtered her whole family. It's that kind of acting that puts this movie over the top and just shows you that R-rated action films can be looked at as pieces of art. Anyway, one of the other reasons why I love this movie so much is how Tarantino manages to juggle all these storylines and weave them together where they all come across one another in a very cinematic moment. It should be noted that it isn't up until the third act of the film where Landa and Rang come face to face with one another, and even though this is the first time these characters are meeting each other, the chemistry between Christoph Waltz and Brad Pitt is phenomenal. And since this movie's been out for more than a decade, we can talk about the ending, which is what gets most people cheering and screaming and excited for more. Looking back at history, we all know how World War II ended, and when Tarantino made this film, he wanted to tell a story of how he thought the war should have ended, and this meant we got to watch Hitler die in a blaze of bullets and fire as Tarantino pulls out all the stops, where we watch Shoshana burn her theater to the ground right before the bastards swoop in and murder the scum of the earth. Not gonna lie, when I first watched this, I was amazed to see how this much violence played beautifully as we saw Hitler stare into the fiery gates of hell right before he is riddled with bullets. I can only imagine how theaters reacted when this scene came up. But anyway, as we reach towards the end, one could say that the ending is very poetic as we see Londa and Rain have one last conversation. It also serves as a proper book ending as we first start off this story with Londa and it ends with Londa. So overall, I really love Inglorious Basterds as it is a great story to introduce audiences to a villain who stole the whole movie with just his presence alone. And I think one of the reasons why Colonel Hans Landa is such a great villain is the way Christoph Waltz and Quentin Tarantino decided to portray him as this gentleman-like villain who always wore a smile on his face when he did his job, which involved finding people and killing them. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review for Inglorious Basterds. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can get the latest updates from this channel. I'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.